When I was 5 years old, I had the best bike in the whole world. And I will fight anyone who wants to claim that they have the best bike in the world, because it's not true. My bike it had 2 white wheels and also 2 white training wheels. It was painted baby blue, had sparkles all over it, and Barbie written across the frame. Looked similar to this. I couldn't find a picture of it exactly, but this is kind of what it looked like. I loved riding this bike. I'm pretty sure I put 1,000 miles on it just going up and down my own street. But then one day, my father approached me and said, "It's time to take the training wheels off." And I was not ready. In fact, I was actually mad. Why change something when it's not broken? I was riding my bike just fine with all my friends. Even though they did all have their training wheels off, I didn't care. I could ride my bike and I didn't have to take the training wheels off and I'd be fine. But the day came and my father chose to take them off. I was also scared because I had never done something like this before. And so it was time to try something new. This is pretty much what I looked like when it came to riding my bike without training wheels. I would run into stuff, I was crashing a lot, and more often than not, I wouldn't get very far without having to put my foot on the ground. And I was very sad because all of my friends could ride their bikes without their training wheels, but here I was still struggling every day trying to get up on this bike. I mean, it was super simple. Why couldn't I get up when all of my friends could? I kept trying and failing. I was really disappointed, so what actually ended up happening was I started just riding my Razor scooter everywhere instead of having to learn something new. But then one day, my friend approached me with her bike, which was just a little bit lower to the ground than mine was, and she had this really big seat that had a back against it. So, if you can imagine, it was more of a seat with a back on it instead of like an actual bike seat. And she was like, "Well, maybe you could try riding this one instead of your own, and maybe you can do it without the training wheels then." What happened is I got on this bike and I was able to ride it. Crazy. Who knew that I would be able to ride a bike that wasn't my own? I was very excited. I was very happy. I was dancing like crazy with all my friends because they were all outside on the street with me when it happened. And it was a great time. And then my dad came out and saw me on this other girl's bike. And he got pretty mad that I wasn't riding this bike. I wasn't learning how to ride a bike on my own bike. So, I guess what turned out to be a happy moment was kind of squashed by the fact that my father was disappointed in me not riding it on my own bike. But, as all 5-year-olds do, I let it slide, and I just kept riding this bike with all my other friends and didn't give a care in the world about it. But what I learned from this lesson was that you can learn multiple things from learning one thing. So, by learning to ride my bike, I learned how to persevere and keep going and trying to learn something new, even though I was scared. I also learned how to ride this bike creatively. Creatively means that I rode someone else's, but I was still able to do it. And the third thing that I've learned from riding my bike is that this lesson still carries into my life today. Learning how to be creative when solving problems and learning to persevere even when you're afraid to fail or you keep failing, just keep going if you really want to learn something. I still carry this lesson with me today, and I hope that everyone knows that even learning something as menial as riding a bike can teach you many different things in your adult life. Thank you.